Hey guys, D-Sal here, and welcome back to the Nerd Cave. Thanks for clicking on the video. Just wanted to go over in this video my Digibook and Digipack collection. People call it different things, media books, gallery books. For purposes of this video, I'm going to distinguish it between Digibooks and Digipacks. And we'll go over the differences. So, I really like steelbooks. I have a huge steelbook collection. I have a pretty small Digibook collection. They don't really make them too much anymore. I know Target now has these Digipacks, and once in a while you'll see a studio come out with a Digibook option. Not always in 4K, usually Blu-ray. So, it really depends on the release. I really like the Digibooks. If I had to choose between a Steelbook and a Digibook, I might usually go with the Digibook, depending on the release. If it's something I really want in 4K and it's not a 4K option, I don't really like to double dip too much, so I'll probably go with the Steelbook if it's something I really want in 4K and the Digibook isn't. Otherwise, I've been picking up a lot of these recently through eBay and Amazon. And just to start things off, we're going to talk about the actual Digibooks. And these are some older ones. We'll start off with some Warner Brother releases. First one is Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. And, the next couple of these are going to look very similar. It's got the, like the hard kind of book cover here, hardcover book look to it. It's got the spine. It actually looks like a little book. And it has a lot of information about the movie, some pictures. This one actually has the song lyrics, which is kind of cool. And it's a lot of information. Something that you would see like on an Arrow release where they have the booklet with the movie, but it's kind of built into the packaging, which, I really like. And it looks nice on the shelf. Looks like a book collection, so really like this a lot. These don't come, like this is an older one, so you don't have the digital code with it. But it's a really nice, if you kind of see it in the light here. So here's Willy Wonka. Next one up is another Warner Brothers. It's Batman. Now this movie I'll probably double dip on. I really wanted the Digibook for this one. I will probably pick up the 4K release eventually. Haven't done it yet. I was looking at Best Buy. I was very tempted. They had the 4-movie Tim Burton Schumacher collection, Steelbook collection on sale, but I didn't pull the trigger, and now I think it's back to the normal price, which I'm not going to pay. So, but this is my Batman. I was 9 years old when this came out. This was an event. This movie, the first real, you had Superman, but this is a real kind of quote unquote dark superhero movie. So, but again, just like Willy Wonka, very similar packaging. You have the spine. Here's the back, and it's the hardcover. And this one actually has, which is really cool, it has some info about the movie, about the history of Batman, which is really nice. And it's really comprehensive booklet. It has the script in it. Yep, and it also has some of the comic book adaptation of the movie here. Next one up, and I'm embarrassed to say I haven't seen this yet. Unforgiven, Clint Eastwood. Now the thing about these Digibooks, and you'll see, especially these older ones, they do crease on the corners pretty easily. I just got this factory sealed from Amazon, and these aren't that much money. Between eBay and Amazon, you can get these for a pretty decent price, usually under 20. But again, it's a Warner Brothers, so it's very similar. Here's the J card. Get this out of the way. But yeah, pretty comprehensive book about the movie, some script, and it's just the standard Blu-ray disc. So you're not going to really get a lot of the extra features you would see on some newer releases. Next one up I got just the other day, Shawshank Redemption. Now I would probably want to upgrade this to the 4K, but I think this was definitely under $20. And again, it's a Warner Brothers, so the Warner Brothers really did a good job with their Digibooks. But again, is factory sealed, but this is kind of how they come sometimes, unfortunately. Yeah, and I just shove these J cards in here. I think we've talked about that in previous videos. I usually save the J cards. I usually fold them up, put them inside somewhere in the case. But again, you know, pretty comprehensive booklet about the director, about the movie, and there you go with the disc itself. Next one up is not a Warner Brothers release. This is a 20th Century Fox, but it's very similar. It's a Rocky Horror Picture Show 35th Anniversary Edition. Again, hardcover book. Here's the back. There's the spine. And again, you know, a lot of information about the movie. Some pictures, some information about the movie. You know, this is more of a, you'd almost call this like a gallery book. It's just more, you know, pictures than anything else. This just kind of slides in. I'm not crazy about that, but, and that's it. Running out of room, so let's consolidate. Here we go. Next one up is a Sony release. This is somewhat newer. This is probably in the last 2 years, and it's Jim Henson's Dark Crystal. And I know this came out as a 4, so this is an example of me choosing the Digibook over a 4K release. You know, just I really like. I think you get more for your money. It's usually the same price as a 4K release or the Steelbook counterpart. I feel like you get more. You get this nice booklet with a lot of information about Jim Henson, and about the movie. It's just really nice packaging. Here's the disc. And this one, actually, you know, I'm not crazy when they do this. It's like they just print what you'd see on the back of a J card just on the back here. But that's all right. Here's a little bit about the movie. Some of the special features. Next one up is another, this is a Columbia Sony release, and Ghostbusters 1 and 2. Now, I know the Ghostbusters 1 and 2 Steelbook came out. I missed out on that one. I would probably double dip and get that, but this is a great media book. Did I just say media book? We're calling them Digibooks. This is a great Digibook. Ghostbusters 1 and 2. You know, I feel like they call media books, like a lot of the German releases, they have a lot of media books. I always hear people refer to them as media books. I don't know if that's more of an international thing, but I'll stick to Digibooks. And here, same thing. They just kind of printed out what you'd see on the J card in the back. There's Ghostbusters 1 and 2, and again, just a lot of information here. This is a really good one. Just a lot of information about the movie 1 and 2. And this is still, you know, this is not out of print. This is still available for a decent price. Next one up is a movie collection. So you'll see these as well. They're just a collection of like a series. So here, we'll just get right to it. Here's the SpiderMan, the Sam Raimi collection. It's a 3-movie set. Same thing, and it's a Sony release. You have the spine, hardcover. It's pretty thick because it's got a couple of the movies in here. I think it's 2 versions of the third one in here. Again, I guess this is a Sony thing. They just kind of print out what you'd see in the J card here. And the difference here, so you do have a pretty comprehensive book in the front. Kind of similar to the Ghostbusters 1 and 2. But here, and I'm not crazy, and I know a lot of people aren't crazy about this, you got to slide the discs in and out. So I'm always afraid that you got to, you know, scratch them. But the cool thing is they become kind of pages of the books. Here's Spider-Man, Spider-Man 2, Spider-Man 3, and a bonus disc. Nice artwork. And something very similar, it's the Amazing Spider-Man collection. You know, this looks nice on the shelf together. It's pretty much the same format. And same thing here, guys. It's just, here's the book with the comprehensive material in here, and the same thing with the pages when you slide it in. The first 2 and a bonus disc. Segueing, I guess, into another comic book character. This is a newer one. DC, I'll just show you. It's a Aquaman lenticular cover. This is a really nice release. This is actually a 4K release, which is nice. This is a Target exclusive. And as you know, Target used to come out with these Digibooks for the DCEU properties. And I think this was actually the last one. And unfortunately, I missed a boat on all the other ones. This is the only one I have, unfortunately. Shazam did not come out with one, so they pretty much stopped with this one. I don't know why. These were nice releases, and they sold out pretty quickly. So you would think they did well with these. But here's the disc in the front and in the back. So you have the Blu-ray and the 4K. And the information here in the middle. This is a really nice release. Unfortunately, they stopped doing that. I would totally just, if I can go back and grab all those, the Batman v Superman, Man of Steel, if I can pick those up. But those prices can be insane at this point. So now we're going to move into some of the newer Steelbooks. What am I talking about? Some of the newer Digibooks that have been released lately. This is probably within the next year or so. It's Sleepy Hollow. It's a Paramount release. I just kind of left this in the back here. There's artwork here. This is okay. This is a nice release. It's, Digibooks, got all the information here. A lot of information, actually, about the movie, about the history of the movie, about the story, and just here's the Blu-ray. But it's kind of flimsy. It's not like that hard. It's like a hard cover, I guess, but if you see it, it's very flimsy. It's more like cardboardy than an actual hardcover book. And I find that the newer Digibooks that are coming out are kind of like that. So here's another example. Here's a 40th anniversary, kind of the yearbook edition of Grease. And, the edges are kind of bent a little bit. And if you look here, it's kind of flimsy. It's not hard. It's kind of a cardboardy type material. And this is really more reminiscent of like a gallery book. It's just really just kind of pictures made to look like a yearbook. Still nice though. Still nice release. I'd still chose this over the 4K release as a Blu-ray and the DVD. Nothing on the back. And the last one for Digibooks is the latest one I got, and it's the 10 Commandments. Looks really nice. You got the spine. It's pretty thick. There's 2 different movies in here. It's the Charlton Heston one, and then also the 1923 silent movies in here, which I've never seen, which I'm interested in checking out. Nice thick spine. Here's the back. And kind of similar to the Aquaman, you have the Charlton Heston one here in the back, and you have the older one, the 1923 version. So, and there you go. And not too much information in this, more like just some pictures, and you can see the theme here. It's kind of getting less and less like a book, and more just like kind of like a gallery book. But this looks, it's got the hard cover, but it's very flimsy, which is annoying. And it might just be because you have these 2, on either side with the movie in the middle. But the spine itself is not very sturdy, which is a little annoying. This actually is a pretty cheap set. I think you can get this between $12 to $14, which is a good deal for the release of 2 different movies. But if you compare it to something like this, it's a harder spine, where this is kind of cardboardish. So, cardboardish, is that a term? Well, it is now. So now we're moving on to the Digipacks. This is a really nice release. This is a Target exclusive, and this is an example of me choosing the Digipack over the 4K Steelbook edition, and it's Bohemian Rhapsody. Target exclusive, has a gallery book, and so I'll show you the difference. This is almost like a hybrid. You have the hard cover here that you would see in a Digibook, but it kind of opens up like folds out like this, which is nice. You have artwork here, and I'm sure you guys have seen plenty of unboxings of this release. with the book itself. It's like I said, this is more of a gallery book, so it's just photos really of the movie and some of the history. And here, just a little annoying about this too, it's the DVD and the Blu-ray are here, and you have to slide them out, and you kind of got to dig in there and pull it out. This one's easier to get out, the Blu-ray, which is nice, but this DVD is almost like impossible. Well, impossible as I do it, but you know what I mean. The nice thing about this, though, is it does have a slip with it as well. So this is, this was similar in price to the 4K Best Buy exclusive, which, they had a really nice steelbook option, but I really liked the gallery book. I just liked this more, and I picked, this would have been nice on 4K, but I like this release a little bit better. Next up is a massive set that I got from Best Buy, and it's Apocalypse Now, the final cut, and this comes with a ton of movie. It's 3 versions of the movie, the final cut, and the remake they came out with a couple, not remake, but the redo they came out with a couple years ago, and the original. They have them on 4K, they have it on Blu-ray, they have a special features disc, and they have a documentary. So a really nice set, 6 discs, but it's just so flimsy. I mean, it's just kind of it's just cardboard. And I get it. There's a lot here. It's thick. It's probably hard to get I would love to have a slip over this, but I understand it's kind of a beast here. But you just see it moving around, and there's dents on this, and it's a nice release, but I think they could have done a little better with it. And it is, like I said, the 4K and Blu-ray versions, which is nice. Next, going back to Target exclusives, is their Digipacks of Captain Marvel and Avengers Endgame. We'll just do these together because they're pretty much identical. So we'll just open up the Captain Marvel. Well, we'll do both. Why not? Again, it's nice. Comes with a slip. It's kind of a combination between the Bohemian Rhapsody one and Apocalypse Now, because you have the slip, which is nice. Keeps everything together. Here's the back. Spine. And then it kind of folds out. So you have the 4K and the Blu-ray, the different characters. So the art's nice, but it's that flimsy kind of cardboard material like you have in the Apocalypse Now one. And it comes with like a separate standalone gallery book, which is actually pretty nice. So it's kind of like a combination of the Apocalypse Now and the Bohemian Rhapsody, where it's not as a hard cover like you'd see with these, but at least you have the slip to kind of keep everything together and protect it. And next one up, we'll just quickly go through this, the Avengers Endgame one. This one, I kept the J card. So you see what I did here? I kept the J card on it, and I flipped, because it's supposed to kind of look like this. And I kept the J card, and I put this in, kind of just using it as a top so it doesn't slide up. SpiderMan, Black Widow. The same thing, guys. You have the 4K, the Blu-ray, and the special features, and different characters, and the gallery book. This is another one where I chose for both of these releases. I wasn't Captain Marvel and Endgame. I wasn't crazy about the Best Buy steelbooks for these, so that's why I picked up this. But if I know a lot of people like to be consistent in what releases they have, I'm not. So if I were to stack up all of my MCU movies, you would see a combination of Blu-rays without slip, Blu-rays with slip, steelbooks, and these releases. So it's kind of a mess, and my OCD kind of drives me crazy a little bit when looking at it. But I'm not gonna go back and buy all these up again. So guys, that's it. That's my Digibook and Digipack collection. Let me know in the comments below. What do you have? What do you prefer? Thanks for checking out the video. Make sure to like and subscribe, and see you guys later.